Today here at James Chapel, we celebrated the life and the death of our precious James Cone. This place was filled with people who loved him. The community, a union. A community that is crushed by his death, but is deeply blessed to have had him in this place for 50 years. And the major thing that Professor Cone gave to us was, at every corner, he would always remember the poor. At every interview, he would always remember the poor. All his theology was about the poor. Let's listen now to what he said in an interview defining Black liberation theology.
History, but let's start with how you would define it now.
Well, I would define Black liberation theology as mainly a theology that sees God primarily as concerned with the poor and the weak in society. And since this theology comes out of the Black community, we call it Black liberation theology, but it's not just for Black people in a narrow sense of that term. It is for Black people in the sense that it focuses on the concerns of Blacks who are living and who are voiceless in this society. That makes it Black liberation theology. But it is concerned about the gospel for everybody. And if everybody is for the gospel in this society, then they are for the poor and the weak. And if you are for the poor and the weak, you are also concerned about the liberation of Black people too. So
from the Black people came us a prophet who blessed us immensely and gave us so much. I was at McCormick Seminary teaching worship and the arts, and Myung Kim interpreted the lynching and the cross in her paintings. For her to lynch someone was absurd. She came from South Korea and she couldn't understand it. But she could see how religion had to be interpreted here and how God was also holding God's people in God's hand. Today here we mourned Professor Cone, and in the prayers of the people, the words from Brother Martin was brought in his speech in Selma. I know you're asking today, how long will it take? Somebody asking, how long will prejudice blind the wisdom of man, darken their understanding, and drive bright-eyed wisdom from her sacred throne? Somebody's asking, when will the radiant star of hope be plunged again the nocturnal bosom to this lonely night, plucked from weary souls with chains of fear and manacles of death? How long will justice be crucified and truth bear it? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed to earth will rise again. How long? Not long, because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long, because you shall reap what you sow. How long? Not long. How long? Not long. This weekend we lost our precious James Cone, and he was the one who used to tell us, how long, not long. He worked the ground of our hearts so that truth would not be crushed, forgotten, so that that truth would rise again as a tree, as a garden. The one who used to tell us not long is not with us anymore, and we feel like a motherless child, grieving without anywhere to go. So at this day here, we had our hearts lost. And we had a song of sadness to sing. But then after we mourned, we all asked God, God, may His life and His work be this constant presence of You in us, saying to us every day, how long? Not long. And the last book of Professor Cohn that is coming this year has the title, Said I Wasn't Gonna Tell Nobody. A spiritual filled with joy and glory. And it says, said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep it to myself. No, I couldn't keep it to myself. I couldn't keep it to myself. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but we couldn't keep it to myself. What the Lord has done for us through James Cone. Oh, you ought to have been there when God saved our souls with Cone's mighty presence and blessings. You ought to have been there when God listened to Cone's voice to take care of God's people, the least of these, and put our name on the roll for those who fight for liberation. So we will keep walking, we will keep talking, and we will keep singing, and we will keep shouting what the Lord has done for us through our precious James Cone. So if our heart is today a heart filled with sadness, with songs of sadness, it is also a heart filled with songs of joy. Hearts filled with thanksgiving. Because, we can't keep it to ourselves, but sing a song of gratitude. Oh God, we wasn't going to tell nobody about our love to Professor Cone, but we can't. We have to tell the world about the love that He loved us so that we can tell about the God that You have for the world. And here today, Professor Gary Doran was telling a story of a conference he was with Professor Cone not long ago. And after all the conversation, people asked, can you give us something more constructive? And everybody went on different issues. And when Professor Cone said, he said, good news, we have the gospel. We have the gospel. This is the good news to the world. So today, I want to honor him too. Thinking of the two things that he said was important for us to deal with. Anger and humor. Anger to fill our struggle with strength and might. And humor so that we wouldn't be crushed by the impossibilities of justice and of liberation. So today, we're going to live with the seeds of the flowers and of the petals that He has given to us, spreading it all around.